The Niners hire, I don't know if Steve Wilks is going to be a good defensive coordinator. I do think one thing that we've kind of underrated is we just assume every hire is going to be good because the two hires that he had previously were great hires. I would say law of averages, maybe this doesn't work out, but who knows?
This is the first time they've gone out the building to get their D coordinator. D'Amico was here alongside Robert Saleh the entire time during the Shanahan era.
Both first-time coordinators, too, in that sense. That being said, it is interesting how Kyle has he's become the kingmaker. We're talking so much about Andy Reid's staff yesterday, Monte on the show, and how all these guys have gotten head coaching jobs. Just think about it from Shanahan's position right now. Zach Taylor is who he worked with in Washington. Obviously, I don't think he gets credit for McVay, but him and his dad were part of that process of bringing him in, as well as Gruden, right? You've got, obviously, LaFleur is part of that staff in Washington way back when. And then you have LaFleur's brother, who recently was fired by Saleh, but Robert Saleh got a head coaching job. McDaniels has gotten a head coaching job down in Miami, and now D'Amico Ryans. There is something to be said about the king-making ability in terms of standing near Shanahan and being a part of this staff. You are viewed around the league a certain way.
No doubt. Are you surprised Chris Kosaric, the D-line coach, didn't get elevated to D.C.? I know Grant Cohn had a video last year. We had him on the show last Friday, Grant Cohn, that is, of Sports Illustrated. He basically said that Chris Kosaric didn't want to be a D.C. I was a little surprised that he wasn't ready to. Last year was different. I'm a little surprised that they didn't go to the Chris Kosaric route.
Everybody thinks, and this is like corporate America talk here for just a second, you have to take every single promotion possible. Sometimes you're great in sales, and you're not a great sales manager. You're not a great manager of people, right? Look at our particular industry. How many people have been decent radio hosts or decent producers and then they become assistant program director and they're like, that guy sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it happens all the time. How many apprentices are great at sweeping and handing you tools, but then when they become the journeyman, they're not so good. Or they're a great journeyman, but they're a terrible foreman. Like, this happens in every walk of life. I think it's actually more admirable that he understands where his best suit is.
He's going to be a D-line coach.
So what's wrong with that?
No, it's nothing wrong with that. I'm just asking.
I know, let's see Jim Tomsula. Was Jim Tomsula a good defensive line coach?
No, he was an awesome D-line coach. One of the best in the business.
Was he a great head coach?
No, of course not.
No, it was like 3 exits too far.
Yeah. He got one opportunity. He probably should have started off as a defensive coordinator.
Mike Singletary was a good linebacker coach. He's a terrible head coach.
People... I keep laughing, man. I can't.
Why?
Every inch of my body is for sale. It's one of those.
It's a joke. I mean, come on.
No, you were dead serious.
Partly.
I don't even think you realize you said that, man.
Of my body and anything that comes out is for sale.
Excuse me?
It's the anything that comes out part that they got me.
I love you guys. Every inch of my body and anything that comes out is for sale. Could you guys admit, a lot of people think they can work, squire to the king. Only few can work in windows like me. I mean, we're talking microscopic windows. Your boy.
Does anyone really have a choice?
I'm so efficient. You admit you miss me.
Alan Styles was good, man.
Yeah, but was he great?
He was great.
There's a difference between being good and great.
When you work with me, you become great.
Roger Staubach was great. Danny White was just good.
You know my reputation around these streets? Boy, we love working with Bonte, man. I make everybody feel like they're Michael Jordan.
Well, you're the kingmaker. You're the Shanahan of this operation.
I win championships. Anthony at Highway 80.
Well, that's why we're ranked the 15th best show in America by Jason Barrett.
Yeah, well, you taking it personal.
I am taking it personal. The guy could barely breathe out of his nose, and he's out here ranking us 15. It's like, dog, the show ain't for you. You're in your 60s.
Anthony Highway 80, man. Jimmy G.
Yeah.
What's up, Anthony?
Top of the morning, fellas. So, the first thing Joe said was cool, but then he ended with everything that comes out. I was like, whoa, well, I don't know what we're doing here. But the Jimmy G story is pretty interesting. But my perspective is like, he made if it's true, he made a business decision. But it is also, it would suck if I heard that as his teammate. I'd be like, damn, bro, like, you couldn't give us just a little something like we don't know we're going to be back here. So I can see both sides of the coin. If I'm his teammate, I would hate to hear that, and I would hate that it's true.
That's fair.
But I can understand that he made a business decision. Yep. And so, like, it's just one of those things, man. for me, I hope it's not true. But I'm honestly just tired of the Jimmy G thing.
That's
me too.
Like,
Thank you.
I am too.
At some point, we just stop talking about him.
Thank you.
49er and just let him go.
Thank you.
That's my perspective. But you guys have a good morning.
You too, Anthony.
For the sake
I'm
of my
that.
sanity, I need him to just sign somewhere else so we could just go Pontius Pilate and just wash our hands.
You don't believe we're going to be talking Jimmy G next football season?
No.
If he goes out there and plays for,
How much
say, the Las
DeForest
Vegas.
Buckner have we talked?
Yeah, not much, but that's D-line. We never talk D-line like that. Quarterback, we talk about a lot, incessantly.
We're going to be.
And if he throws 4 touchdown passes to the Las Vegas Raiders in his first game, and he lights it up under Josh McDaniel, and the Niners lose that first game, you don't think people are going to be bringing up Jimmy Garoppolo saying we let the wrong quarterback go? You don't think people are going to be bringing that up? Jimmy Garoppolo's been one of the more polarizing figures in the Bay Area for the last 15 years.
And I feel like at times there's been warranted criticism, and at other times it's been ridiculous, disproportionate amount of scapegoating. We're here. We're finally on the final stop of the Jimmy G train. And we gotta run him over one more time. It's like, okay.
I don't think anybody's running him over because Jay Glazer was asked this question.
I just think it's unfair.
At media day.
There's buzz out there that Jimmy Garoppolo could have played in the NFC Championship game.
No, but so it's not that. Like, they were hoping kind of more for the Super Bowl, but even so, he wouldn't have been able to do everything. Kind of would have been able to do a little bit more than Purdy was able to do at the NFC Championship game. But they were hoping he was going to be able to be, and there was maybe the emergency third.
And then Tim Kawakami.
The emergency third. So we're mad at the guy for not being the
Nobody's mad.
Emergency.
Nobody's
I'm not saying
mad.
Not
no,
you.
But hold
there
on,
are
Shasky.
people that are mad.
Hold on, Shasky. You watch Josh Johnson out there.
Oh, yeah.
A journeyman.
Uh-huh.
I looked at you multiple times saying a trip to Glendale's on the line and Josh Johnson's playing quarterback. It's not to disrespect Josh Johnson, but we know what Josh Johnson is.
Now we're here. So
we know what Josh Johnson's here.
You want to get mad at Shanahan? Here's where I would get mad at him. No, I'm saying people that are. You know where I get mad at him? Let's go back. Why the hell have you activated Tevin Coleman, who sucks, who isn't an NFL player? You're worried about the Jimmy G emergency quarterback thing. Then let's go right down the roster and let's point out every single horrific roster game day decision that this guy has done over the years. I'm mad they should have kept Jacob Eason. If that's the case, if you're going to be so angry at Josh Johnson, like, if you're going to be angry, let's get angry at the right details. You're mad at Jimmy G because his foot wasn't right and he didn't feel 100% ready or whatever, 60%.
Who's 100%? Who's 100% at that point?
Nobody.
Of the season?
But my point being is, like, if you're going to be mad at Jimmy Garoppolo, let's direct the anger toward rostering up Tevin weak-ass Coleman, who ain't caught a cold in 5 years, even though you loved him, Bonte.
Yeah,
had
he played
no
well against Carolina.
Being suited up
and he played
in
good
an NFC
against
Championship game.
He played well against the.
That's
in
where I'm going to direct my anger.
He played 2019. He played really
sucked.
well and carried them against Minnesota. Oh my God, he sucked. He ran for over 100 yards. He ran for 100 yards with Shanahan ran the ball 12 straight times against Minnesota. When you guys all said Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't deserve to throw a pass, he ran it 12 straight times, and Coleman ran for over 100 yards. He was really good
Christian
in 2019.
McCaffrey in his 12 games had more yards than Tevin Coleman combined.
He's Christian McCaffrey. He's one of the best running backs in the league. That ain't a fair comparison.
Come on.
Tevin Coleman was dynamic in 2019.
Mr. High ankle sprain, Tevin Coleman.
So
and we're going to run Jimmy Garoppolo over with the bus one more time.
If Jimmy was your teammate.
Have more class than that.
No, it's not about class. It's about if Jimmy Garoppolo, who we've heard from multiple teammates before, you ran when Martellus Bennett. Go get the Martellus Bennett, Sal Spinoni. I want to play that right now.
Great case.
No,
they're very controversial.
But so what, though? A lot of Patriot guys say that. What did go get the Julian Edelman sound about Jimmy Garoppolo not suiting up and how disappointed he was when Julian Edelman said, man, I had torn ACLs, I had shoulder injuries, and I'm going out there landing on the line for my teammates. And if Jimmy Garoppolo had any outs and he could have played, it bet not come out that he could have played.
Unfair.
No, it's not unfair. You know what's unfair?
We're questioning the toughness of an NFL player.
You know what's unfair?
The guy that we threw away a zillion times and took a huge paid reduction, saved the season, came back, played with a hurt shoulder last year, a hurt finger, a hurt this, a hurt that.
Too.
And we're really going to run him over with the bus one more time because Purdy went down and because Josh Johnson went down? Like that, I just think it's so weak.
Here, let's go down the rabbit hole.
We got our ass kicked by the Eagles.
They didn't get
Jimmy
their ass
wasn't
kicked.
saving nothing.
Man, you sure about that? Here's Martellus Bennett a few years ago about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Bro, we lost 2 games. One of them was because Jimmy Garoppolo was being a bitch and trying to quit. He quit before us on the last. Decided not to play right before the game. So we went out there. Jacoby came out and played with a up thumb and played his heart out. But Jimmy was just being a about it all, and he's still being it. Like that's why you can't win with a for a quarterback.
Here's Julian Edelman responding to that soundbite.
Week 3, like the first quarter against the Buffalo Bills or the Jets, and he hurts his non-throwing shoulder, his left shoulder. And Jacoby came in, led us to a win. And the next week, but in the game, Jacoby...
Was that a big deal, like the non-throwing shoulder?
I mean, I don't know. We're all football players here. But Jacoby broke it. He tore his ligaments in his thumb in the win against the Week 3 team. And so we go into Week 4, and, I guess, Jimmy was practicing and then, decided not to play. And Jacoby played with, no ligaments in his thumb, which you can't do that as a quarterback. You can't grip. And if it's your left, and a lot of guys got mad about it. I'm not gonna lie, I got mad about it.
Huh.
I sacrificed my body all day long. All day long. I was taking shots for this, numbing up that, ribs, broken ribs, shoulders, grade 3, hanging on by limbs just to play, And, I can understand why Marty thinks like that.
Julian Edelman went the JUCO route, played at College of San Mateo, had to work his ass off, went to Akron, had to work his ass off, got picked up by the Patriots as a punt returner, right? All I'm saying is this, Shasky.
Oh, what's that?
If Jimmy was able to go, and he didn't, did he just sought out George Kittle?
At what point in his career has he been able to go and not gone? He
Apparently in
did in the
2020, you told me he could have gone with the ankle injury. You told me that.
No, that's what the coach said.
You told me that, too.
That's what the coach said.
2020, ankle sprayed. Couldn't go. And the coach was mad about it, saying he could have gone. And we've heard multiple players question his toughness. Now, what he did last season was admirable.
I don't think that's fair.
It was admirable
what he did in 2021. Are we going to go back and retroactively get angry at Andrew Bogut for not playing in Game 7 because he hurt his ribs?
All I'm saying is,
really?
This guy watched Josh Johnson out there. And if he could have gone with the trip to the Super Bowl on the line, that to me is just, he's selling out his teammates.
The irony of this scene with Elijah Mitchell getting hurt anytime someone breathes on him, with Javon Kinlaw playing 14 of the last 40 games in his NFL career, and you've caped up for him forever, and you're going to sit here and criticize Jimmy Garoppolo,
Absolutely,
who played with a hurt shoulder last year and won 2 playoff games?
Absolutely, I am.
Come on.
Absolutely, he's the quarterback. You're supposed to be the leader.
So unfair.
You're supposed to be boys with George Kittle.
But you're going to give Kinlaw a pass. You're going to give Kinlaw a pass.
No, he doesn't get a pass. Kinlaw sucked.
Okay.
Kinlaw sucked, and I have to give Kinlaw a pass.
Man.
Kinlaw sucked this year. He sucked.
I don't think it's fair to do comparative shopping on who's hurt, how much they're hurt, knowing that if a guy knows his body, I trust him to know his body.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And if it came, again, I think we all say, we've seen Jimmy Garoppolo at limited 50, 60, 70%. It is ugly. All right?
It's still better than Josh Johnson.
I don't know. That's on the coach for making decisions of keeping Josh Johnson. It's still better than
Josh Johnson. Obviously, these guys weren't on the same page. They weren't on the same page last year.
So
at the pressure with Shanahan and said, he's a great quarterback. We really don't want to lead a building. And Garoppolo went up there right away. It was like, yeah, I'm out, Niner Nation.
Are you mad that Steve Young came out of the playoff game against the Green Bay Packers because he was wearing a flak jacket and he went one drive?
No, the fact that Steve Young suited up, he gets all the props in the world because he got cracked against the Eagles in that wild card game. Those ribs were broken.
He was
and
the
he tried to go out there and went out there with a flak jacket and gave everything he had to do. Steve Young played with concussions.
He played like 4 plays.
Steve Young was an absolute
I love
warrior.
Steve. I'm just saying, Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't suit up. How's that his fault? His foot wasn't even practice.
Apparently he could have. If murmurs are coming out that he could have suited up, that's a problem.
Yeah, and I think that's weak sauce. I think it's the same 49ers that are telling me they're champions and that they would have kicked the crap out of the Eagles can't accept the fact their team got their ass handed to them and they couldn't keep their quarterback healthy. 4 different guys couldn't stay healthy.
Julian Edelman.
That's a team-wide problem.
Undersized, white slot receiver who's dealt with every injury in the book. You think he's coming out just saying something like that?
I'm not doing comparative shopping. I don't think that's fair.
Julian Edelman just came out and said it. Multiple Patriot players have said it.
I don't think that's fair.
All right, let's go to the calls.
I think that's weak. For all the things Jimmy's done for this organization, to one last time the game had nothing to do with him. Let's run him over the bus because our other 2 quarterbacks got hurt.
You should have stayed his ass at home then.
We lost. Accept it.
It happens.
The better team won.
We are accepting that he's lost.
Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't play.
We are accepting that they lost. What we're not accepting is, if this was the case, that he could have suited up and helped his team out on the football field. If he could have helped this team out on the football field in that situation with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Patrick Mahomes can't even walk.
Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest players of all time.
I don't give a damn, and he still went out there and tried to ball.
He didn't have a broken foot.
He's still trying to get a high ankle.
It's different than a broken foot.
Look how bad he looked.
Jimmy broke a bone in his foot.
Go tell that to Phillip Rivers in. We crush LT for sitting on the sideline with a parka, and we praise. Come on,
I don't
man.
think that's fair to do on any of these guys. It's the NFL. You know the level of toughness? I'm going to sit here, who just took a couple days off because of COVID. I'm going to sit here and criticize Jimmy Garoppolo's toughness? Like, come on, that's not fair. That might be the dumbest thing I've ever done if I would have done that.
Dude, I'm not questioning it. If he could have played, that's a problem for me. That's a problem. And if I'm George Kittle, that's a problem. If I'm Fred Warner Jr., who's out there, they're out there leaving body parts on that football field. And if this guy could have played, that's the key here, Sasky. I'm not questioning his toughness. But if it's true, if this stuff is true, then I have a big problem with it. That's a big problem. If I'm a teammate of Jimmy Garoppolo's, if I'm a coach of Jimmy Garoppolo's, I have a huge issue.
I'm so ready to just move on from Jimmy, and I think that we're bringing him back into the fold.
We're not bringing him back.
Not
it's a
you.
story.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general, because we're like addicted to ripping this guy, and at some point, Niner fans, let it go. You lost to the better team.
Ripping him. You ripped him after winning the Minnesota game.
I did. And now I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on. It's tired.